Hey guys, Maven here. Now, we all know wrestling is predetermined. Two guys working towards a common goal of putting on a show for you, the fans. But what happens when tempers flare and a scripted match turns into a real fight? Let's find out together.
And now it's Strowman.
How do you plan for something like that?
What about the quickness of this freight train?
Oh!
Kick, Lesnar's down.
Now, I had the good fortune of actually being in a three-way match with Kane and Gene Snitsky one time, and I can guarantee you starting a real fight with either of those giants was the furthest thing from my thought process.
Broad Strowman.
Wait a minute.
And now Brock Lesnar trying to pick the leg of Strowman. That clubbing.
Oh,
that
wow.
knee to the jaw.
Yeah, that knee was in there. And you saw Brock's whole demeanor change the minute he took that knee. He kind of, like the look on his face was one of just sheer anger.
Wow. A knee to the jaw.
Lord.
A knee to the jaw. He caught Lesnar good. A knee to the jaw caught Brock good.
After the running drop kick, Brock was going for the spot they're in right now, where he has Braun on his shoulders, so Kane could come and slap the choke slam on him. But Braun just kept doing offense. And then once he delivered that knee to Brock's temple, that's when Brock came and caught him with a quick cross.
I cannot believe that knee that Strowman delivered to Lesnar. It shook the champion.
Yeah, it would have knocked out a lesser man.
I think they're a little off script right now. You can tell both Kane and Braun kind of peering over to the side to see where Brock is. I don't know if he's not where he's supposed to be for a spot or if the match is supposed to be going in a different direction at this point. I think Brock is the kind of person that when he gets hit, his instinct takes over and it's to hit back. And that's what he did. But that doesn't mean, just because you retaliate, that doesn't undo the impact of what was done to you. Brock's he is still feeling that knee to the side of the head. This reminds me so much of my match on Survivor Series 2004, where I caught Gene Snitsky with the flying forearm and broke his orbital bone. Gene was loopy for a while, and he was down on the side, and me and Hunter are looking around wondering if he's going to be in the spot he's supposed to be to deliver the chair shot to my head. He was, unfortunately, he was. But once you knock someone a bit loopy, man, it's just, you don't know what you're going to get.
Meanwhile, Lesnar with a steel chair and again legal. No disqualification. Triple threat. Whoa!
Man, there is a battle going on between those three giants in that ring. A battle I don't miss. In fact, the only action I want to be a part of now is this video sponsor, War Thunder.
War Thunder is a free-to-play, massive multiplayer action game where you can jump into huge battles around the world using tanks, aircraft, helicopters, and naval ships. One thing I really like is the vehicles are based on real machines from past and present, and each one feels different when you're in combat. The game also has a really unique damage system. Instead of just draining a health bar, every hit actually affects the vehicle itself. Take out someone's track and they're stuck. Hit a few tank and the whole thing can ignite. It makes every battle feel intense and unpredictable. With the recent Line of Contact update, major additions have been introduced to the game. New vehicles like the Terminator combat vehicle, the Ajax tank, and the Typhoon and Super Hornet fighter jets are already available. Download War Thunder for free on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox using the link in the description. New players and those who haven't played for a half a year or more will get some special bonuses like 100,000 Silver Lions and Eagle Valor Decorator. And if you want to play on the go, you can also download War Thunder Mobile for free on iOS or Android using the link in the description.
And every queen knows there's always someone else with their eye on the crown. Whoa!
Charlotte refusing to engage to this moment.
That's just, oh God, that's just bad. You avoided this lockup for a reason. The moment they locked up Nia should have bull rushed her back to the corner. Why? Because that's telling people that's why you were avoiding her, outthinking her, telling her you're here on my time. Yeah, I'm going off on tangents.
Oh, it must have got an adrenaline dump there. Just, look at this.
I don't know what happens, but something happens after the high spot, after Charlotte goes for the moonsault. They then go into another spot, but they stop. And I'm assuming they're just a little off page with one another. Once they stop and they square off, Charlotte goes and smacks Nia Jax, and Nia responds in kind.
Look at this. No effect. No effect whatsoever.
The second little smack was more of a pie face instead of an all route here, take that. And it was probably because the reaction she got after the first smack was swift and targeted. I wouldn't smack her again either.
Desperation time for the Queen to somehow get out of this position. Uh-oh.
Charlotte's going for stuff. Nia's just not allowing her. And I don't know if it's because of anger or if because they're just, that's not the point of the match that they're supposed to be on. If they're supposed to be on a different page, I don't know.
Nia now. Oh no! Chop block.
Okay, they're back on script now. Nia's set up for that.
That has got to be it. To the cover.
I don't know the out of the ring relationship these two ladies have with one another. I would guess it's probably a little bit contentious just because once those smacks were traded, you could tell there was something behind them. There's a difference when you see something land between two guys or two girls and it's just merely an accident. There's always a way to tell if something was intentional or if there was something behind it, a smack, a punch, a kick. You could just tell there was a little something behind those smacks, something that I guarantee you this match didn't solve. Next, we go to my backyard here in New Jersey at an independent show where former WWE superstar Manu Alpha Jr. smacks his opponent, but we don't know why. Will we find out? Let's check it out.
Oh my God, what the, holy shit! What the fuck? They didn't even ring the bell. Keep him away from me. Oh my God, wait, what? Oh my God.
I don't know what fucking island you think you come from, but it sure as fuck ain't the South Pacific, you piece of shit.
Oh my God.
This is not cosplay. You got some bad advice from some bad fucking trainers because I don't play wrestling. I bled for this shit. My family bled for this shit for generations. I am not gonna let no bullshit Puerto Rican piece of shit put a fucking skirt on and act like he's Samoan. Now acknowledge me, the real fucking bloodline.
Okay, after watching Alpha Jr.'s promo, we get a little bit of an understanding. He is upset at the fact that his opponent was using a Samoan, a Pacific Island. He even says, I don't know where you're from, but it's not the Pacific Island. More than likely, this young wrestler, probably someone told him along the way, hey man, you look like a Samoan. You look like you could run with that gimmick. And it's worked. You know, look at the bloodline. Look at the history of Samoans in professional wrestling. Alpha Jr. went in there that night and wanted to set a tone and make an example. And he's smart enough in the wrestling business to know the backlash he was going to get. But to him, the backlash was worth it. Why? Because of his family lineage. Whether you like it or don't like it, whether you think he was in the wrong or if you think he took liberties. Because again, we're giving our bodies over. So when you go to smack somebody, they're not going to move. They're going to stand there and take it. So yeah, you can put an argument up and say he took liberties with the kid. I understand why he did it. But I don't necessarily condone it. I would like to have a little bit more information on if Alpha Jr. tried to handle the situation before that. I've actually been in the ring with Alpha Jr. and I have respect for him. I have respect for him for not only what he's done in the wrestling business, but for his family's lineage in the wrestling business. This is just an ugly situation that unfortunately accompanies itself to professional wrestling.
Timeouts. And they're going to pump the bell here, and as the doctors try to...
Now, early in this match between Sin Cara and Alberto Del Rio, Sin Cara would sustain a real injury, dislocating his finger. Now, in professional wrestling that I've been around, and all the wrestlers I've ever seen get hurt, I don't think I've ever seen one call timeout. Early in my career, I was wrestling at HWA Heartland Wrestling in a triple threat tag team match. And on a German suplex, I reached back and I popped my shoulder out. I can't imagine how differently my career would have been if I would have timeout, stopped the match, my shoulder's dislocated. Like, that didn't even come into my thought process. We would later find out that Sin Cara, he was just ready to be out of the WWE. His time would end shortly after this match, but he's in there with another competitor, a champion, and a guy who, even if you're done, he's not. He wants to put forth the best match he possibly can. And the anger Alberto Del Rio would have, I think, is completely justified.
And you lazy bastard stopped the match because you broke one of your fingers. I got really mad and I threw him inside the ring and I kicked him for real. But of course, after the match, I said, "Hey man, I'm sorry, but you're just lazy. What happened? Where's your heart? Where's your pride for the business?" And he was like, "Well, you know, I just don't want to be here anymore." And I said, "Well, then leave, brother." And he did. He quit the company like 2 weeks after.
Alberto Del Rio is 100% right. You don't want to be here, leave. Just go. Somebody, I guarantee you, wants your job. They want to be in your spot. And if you're not going to put 100% into everything you do in that ring, you're going to not only make your opponent look shitty, but more importantly, that's when injuries happen. I get it. Wrestling's a grind. It's tough, man. It's tough to be on the road. It's tough to be in pain all the time. It's tough to be living out of a suitcase. It's tough to be in town after town, night after night. But no one's making you. You don't want to be here, go. Next, we're back at an independent show, a match I have not seen. Let's check it out. Now, the match is over. We have a declared winner, but the fans are angry. All 4 opponents are down. I saw a couple stiff elbows from the shooter, but again, that's wrestling. That can be forgiven. The spinning punch that was laid in, that was uncalled for. And if you can't throw a better punch than that, then don't throw a punch. The valet has no clue what to do. She's trying to react. She's half-hearted up on half the apron. She doesn't know whether to go in the ring. She doesn't know what to do. This guy, he's hurt. He's going to be feeling that punch, that's for sure.
First, let's get this piece of trash out of here. You know shot fight. I just knocked you out. Get out of this ring right now. I'm the champion of this company. I say,
All right, these two are into it now. Oh, this is a real fight now. It's a real fight now.
let go, come on, man.
I don't know if there's history between the two, but it took one kick. It took literally one kick before Eddie wasn't having it anymore, and he was going to at least show his displeasure. The poor guy in the green shirt, he's had a front row seat for all of it. He hasn't moved. Like, if someone delivered him a beer, he wouldn't look more comfortable than he does right now. And it took this. It took these two getting into a real fight before the audience felt they had the payoff they showed up for. Next, we go to a tag team match involving the dog-faced gremlin Rick Steiner and Vordell Walker. Let's check it out. There's not many guys you want to mix it up with less than Rick Steiner. I don't know if Vordell Walker maybe had a little bit of an amateur boxing background. It looks like he's got some fight training under his belt. But even with some fight training, Rick Steiner's not the one I want to put those skills to the test against. Okay, he knows this. Yeah, he's got definitely training because he knows what to do. He knows how to pancake someone out. I can only imagine that Rick is buying his time right now, getting his wind back.
Go back. I was fucked up.
This match would make its way all the way out into the audience. And at some point, Vordell Walker had just had enough. He felt as though, I would think, that Rick Steiner had been taking liberties with him from the opening bell with stiff kicks, with just driving his elbow into his back, with just hard shots. And whether a guy's a name guy or not, you're still giving them your body. I'm not giving anyone my body, and I don't want to take anyone's body to hurt them. I also commend Dustin for stepping in when he did and turning Rick around and taking him back towards the ring. That could have been an uglier situation than it already was.
Right now we have the true, the one and the only Dunk the Clown.
Point and hold the phone. That's a legend, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, double legends.
Hold on, see, we have the first tie-up of the match.
We got an actual lockup.
Lock in for position.
At this point, Hacksaw and Doink the Clown, aka Matt Bourne, had a rocky relationship. A rocky relationship decades long. So where this is going to get, it's been in the making for some time.
Bourne from Portland, Oregon, from when he was Big Jock in WCW.
Matt Bourne was trying to take it to the heat spot there. He was trying to, do the whole, oh, come here, and then give him the low blow. I don't think Matt Bourne, Doink the Clown, I don't think he thought it was going to get to this point. It looked like he was working. He was working the gimmick. He was working the history. He was working the angle. He was bumping. This looks like it's getting real very quickly to me.
Let's go. You want to work? You want?
Okay, so Matt asks him, do you want to work? Do you want to work? Do you want to fight? Which one is it? Are we putting on a show for the fans? Or are we settling old beefs?
This is not what I expected to see from the legends. Hold on, what's going on here, Commish? Hold on, the commissioner's got to step up here and do something. Because now Doink's out there with his chair. And Hacksaw's walking away from the ring.
I understand that two guys can have history. I can even understand having to give somebody a stiff kick. I'm actually with Matt on all that. You lose me, though. I don't understand why he jumped the barricade. I don't understand why he grabbed a chair, brought it into the ring area, and then took the chair, jumped the barricade, and went back to where guys were selling 8x10s. Like, Matt, you had me with you up until all that. Yeah, that was definitely, that little last point, that was him, that was an invitation. That's where I'll be. Now, from what I heard, these two men wouldn't even meet each other backstage. So the fight that Hacksaw Jim Duggan was inviting Matt Bourne to finish wouldn't happen. In fact, Matt Bourne, he would leave the arena without even going back into the dressing room. Probably for the better. But again, just showing sometimes our histories can be our worst enemies. Like that guy on the right is what happens if Post Malone takes up wrestling and logging at the same time.
The country boy from USA, Skeeter!
Skeeter's over. I'll give it to him. He's over. Yo, the guy in the Mohawk bumps well. He moves well too. He's not bad.
Derek Billings is flipping him around.
Oh, that kick was in there. Skeeter's not happy.
Look at the horrible and despicable display by the Gifter Rush. I have never seen.
I can't think this is how they wrote it up.
Stephen Hensley would applaud this kind of display, but
That's a choke. That's a chokehold right there. You can put someone to sleep like that.
Stop it now! Stop! Cut!
Like I get it. Like you could tell he's scared. Like he doesn't want to be in a fight. This got real way faster than he thought it was going to get real.
Seriously. Announce me as a fucking winner.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness. He said, seriously, announce me the fucking winner.
All right, fans, apparently there was some outside interference. I'll get an official word from
And the craziest part about it is everybody in the crowd stayed seated the whole time. They acted like that. We see this all the time. He does this weekly. This is just Tuesday. I don't know how much wrestling training or if even Skeeter is a wrestler. For all I know, he's a part-timer. And he's just going out there with the gimmick, getting the people and the music, and just the people love this, just eat his shit up. If you're gonna do that, you gotta you gotta be all in. And then when somebody is performing moves on you, you have to sell their moves. Mohawk guy gave him a few kicks, punches, and then I distinctly remember the snap mare and delivered a good kick to his back. And Skeeter didn't even sell. He no-sold it. He jumped up. I mean, at some point, my God, like somebody's not selling your shit, you're just going to keep hitting them harder. That's just the way it is. I completely understand where the guy with the mohawk gets mad and angry. You can tell he's got some skill as a wrestler. So I think he just probably takes it a little bit more serious than maybe Skeeter does. Once this got out of his depths of comfort, I don't think I've ever heard anybody yell "cut," but he did. And thus I've never heard anyone say go to the ring announcer and say, announce me the fucking winner. And he meant it. This was entertaining. Yeah, this was good shit.
さあそれではまず記念すべきオープニングマッチからご案内してまいりましょう。 7.17
I remember being in Tokyo when I was in the WWE, and we were there for several days, and every night after the show, I would go back to the hotel and turn the TV on with hopes that I miraculously knew and could understand Japanese. It never happened. I thought, well, today's gonna be the day when I can understand what they say on TV, but I never did.
きらびやかなコスチュームです、住さん。
そうですね。もともとは素顔の選手でイギリスで活躍したらしいんですけども。
The Japanese culture is one of such reverence and respect for wrestlers. They place importance on the moves inside the ring way more than on the character or the gimmick of the wrestler.
そしてサスケを振っていきます。戻ってくるところ、ショルダースルー。
I remember being in the big arena in Tokyo, and they would sit there and wouldn't make a noise. And then once they saw a move or some just great athletic feat, that's when they would cheer and clap and just enjoy wrestling.
なんとなく雰囲気、このモル坊主頭、そして from UK ということからもしてもキッドという名前もありますけれども、まああの人をね、なんか。
All this happened, he's kicking out before one. That tells me something.
1試合だけ出たんですが、その時に柔道諏訪選手にやられてしまいました。
はいはい。さあもう。
Yeah, I was gonna say this has to stop eventually. You can't do all the high spots. Now the kicks come. That was stiff. That was in there.
もう一回いきます。
いや起き上がってこない。
Yeah, that guy's like, I took all your high spot maneuvers, Dirtbike Kid. It ends now.
結構でも入りましたよね今ね。
Oh, yeah, that's, again, submission. He's tapping him out. Like, that's it.
ゼロとは言いませんけども、彼は飛びましたから。
というコメントに裏打ちされるように清水さんのダートバイクキッドは
At some point, Great Sasuke had just had enough. The Dirtbike Kid had given him every move he knew how to throw. He gave him every move in his arsenal. Hell, he didn't even start off with anything normal. He started off with a drop. He started the match off with a drop kick. I can't fathom what one of my producers would have said if I would have, or one of my opponents would have said if I would have said, hey, for tonight's match, as they ring the bell, I'm going to hit you with the drop kick. And they'd have been like, what? The reason why I never went over and wrestled at any length in Japan was because I know I'm not I don't have the skills of a Great Sasuke. I can't keep up with those guys. Great Sasuke came for a fight that night. And I think once the Dirtbike Kid realized that he was in the ring with someone who came for a fight, someone whose skill level was far superior than his, yeah, he wanted no part of it. I don't blame him. Yeah, the minute I see somebody throwing kicks and everything like that, yeah, nah. Cut. Cut. I'm out.
What's up, guys? How you doing? You doing all right?
We're doing great, man.
Journalism 101, never relinquish the mic to your guest. They're always going to try to grab it because people want control of things. You never relinquish it. Ty Grisham, come on, buddy. You know better than that.
I'm not sure Umaga, in all due respect, has ever watched a Jackass movie as we have.
Umaga Eki was one of my best friends and a guy that I miss daily. He could have a good time, though, and Eki was one that was in on the joke. Our old code word for working out, he used to ask me, Maeve, hey, Maeve, man, let's go to the gym. And go to the gym meant go to IHOP. So he was one for a joke, but he wasn't one for disrespect. So remember that.
Wait, what is it? Oh, look out! No! Wait a minute!
Right about now, both Steve-O and Chris Pontus are saying, this is, okay, yeah, this is, this isn't what I expected. But, again, these two guys, the list is very short of what these guys, won't do when it comes to stupidity. So I'm assuming they can take it.
And a kick to the sternum of Steve-O. A huge Samoan drop.
I would bet someone earlier in the day, went up to Eki and told him, yo, just make your stuff look strong. No, don't hurt them, just make it look strong. They can take it. And I guarantee you both of these guys probably went up to Eki and told him, yo, we can take it. Their whole gimmick at this time was riding on, we're just crazy and we can do anything you can think of that you don't want to do. They wanted it to look tough. The people in WWE wanted it to look tough. And thus we have Eki looking like a wrecking machine. Oh shit, god damn Steve-O, don't laugh.
Umaga, 350 pounds.
Yeah, now we're into extra curriculars. And they went off the yeah. Everything that happened up until this point, I think, was part of the plan, part of the idea, part of the script. When Steve-O took it too far, when he ventured a little bit beyond respectful to Eki, to Umaga, was when he was laughing. When you just took, especially the Samoan Bulldozer's finishing move, and you're laughing 30 seconds after it, nah, man, that makes Eki look bad. That makes our product as a whole look bad. Kevin Dunn was in that truck, I guarantee you, yelling, cut, get off this shot, when Steve-O, after Eki's finisher, was laughing. But this isn't the first time someone has gotten irate in a WWE ring. And to see the Legend Killer break character and snap, watch the video on screen.